Amy Sky with Cincy Chic, and I am here to be able to tell you about an exciting production that's coming to Cincinnati, and it's called Waitress. It tells the story of Jenna, and she is a waitress and an expert pie maker who made me hungry the entire time, and not just because I'm pregnant. And she's out of a small town, and she's in a loveless marriage, but that's where you come in. And so it's very exciting. It's there's a baking contest in a nearby county, and the new doctor may offer some hopeful love interests, we'll say, without giving anything away. So it comes in the form, a little bit of hope, in the form of a bundle of joy, we will say. And as a mom-to-be, I'm definitely relating to that. And I think there's a lot of relatable aspects of this. What are some of your favorite relatable aspects of the show?
Yeah, everything about this story is relatable. I always say it's a universal story. We zoom in on Jenna, who is just like everybody else. She's not necessarily this dynamic woman who people are writing about. I mean, she's just kind of the gal next door. And so therefore the people in her life are kind of the guys and gals next door. So the script is, a lot of it is based on Adrienne Shelley's screenplay, which is from the movie. And whether if it's not those words exactly, then Jessie Nelson, our book writer, has kind of rounded the edges to make it even more theatrical. But it's not too theatrical. It's still so relatable. I mean, they're words that I would say. They're words that we would say in real life, whether or not we're putting on these characters. So yeah, I think that's the best thing about the show, is how real and relatable it is.
Right, absolutely, I agree. And what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think everybody in the show is incredibly accessible. I think that they're like, there's no one in the show who doesn't make mistakes. You know, there's nobody in the show who doesn't have some kind of flaw that's very obvious. But also, everyone on the show is just trying to get by, which is really the best anybody can do. They're just trying to make it. You know, and I think that that's a very honest thing that everybody can relate to, is that everybody in this show is really just trying to get through the day-to-day and have the best life for themselves that they can. And really, what more can you ask to do? I think that's what everyone's doing.
Yeah, very true. Now, you mentioned the female power aspect of this, the creative team, and this is something that's been celebrated by a lot of women, because this is one of the first times that the book, the screenplay, the creative direction, it's all female.
All women.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Not to mention Sarah Bareilles.
Correct.
Who is behind all of the music, which is incredible. So what's your favorite song?
Oh my goodness. Okay, my favorite song changes by the week, because the music is pop music with Sarah, you know, and I feel like this week it is A Soft Place to Land, which is a song I sing with two of my besties at the diner, Becky and Dawn, and the three of us sing it, and the harmonies are just beautiful. It's just a wash of incredible sound, but at the same time, it really allows us to kind of dive deep into this hopeful, dreamy state that we all want and we all desire deep, deep down. And that's my favorite song right now.
This week.
This week.
And what about you?
To listen to that one, because I'm backstage for that and I listen to it every night. It's gorgeous. It really is a stunning song. And then, but shortly after that comes A Bad Idea, which is our Act 1 closer that we do together, and that's just a blast.
It's a crowd favorite.
It is.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it was a little tricky to learn, so there's also like a part that feels good now that we can just sort of live in it after, because it took a while to really get it precise.
It was complicated. It sounds really like a pop fun kind of jam, but it actually it's challenging.
But
it's impressive.
And I also I love You Matter to Me also, as far as doing it, because it's such an like you were saying before, it's so honest. It's just a very true song. It's not flowery or poetic as far as the lyrics go. It's really conversational, but the music is so beautiful that juxtaposition, I think, works really effectively. She's great at that.
Yeah. So I have to tell you, not only the pregnancy hormones, but I completely lost it in the moment of when you said, we were both born today.
Oh.
And I think you're you kept a very good balance when you were singing that. You could tell the emotion behind it. This is the pinnacle moment when you are you're holding the baby for the very first time. And it's not, I think I never expected it until I had my first baby, the moment that you look at it, and it's a turning point. And I could tell so much emotion was in your voice. Is that difficult to be able to have so much emotion behind what you're feeling? Because that was one of the most emotional moments in my life, and for you to conjure that up and still keep your beautiful voice, but I could tell there was so much emotion behind it.
No, that is a challenge.
Yeah.
I think it's the best challenge for me as an actress because I am moved by this story as well. And I tap into real life emotions and real life experiences in order to tell Jenna that hit incredibly close to home. So in that moment, I think of my niece and nephew and the way that my sister has felt. And so I really am looking at this baby and seeing my nephew, the very first little baby that I said that I'm related to, that I'm like, there cannot be more love than this moment. And so I am tapping into that. And I always say as an actress that I would rather feel the emotion and crack on a note or it not be beautifully, perfectly sung because I went there, than to say that my performance was empty or without emotion. So thank you for saying that. That is a huge compliment to me and my work as an actress, and I appreciate that. But it's a difficult and beautiful challenge.
Oh, ugly tears were had last night because of this girl. So, and that's the thing, is that we were talking about the relatable aspects of it. I think the motherhood aspect, the friendship, the love, and also the mother. So there's a special relationship that you mentioned throughout about the mother.
Yes.
You have a special relationship with your mom?
Yes, I do.
All right, tell me a little bit about how she helped you prepare.
Yes, so she, actually, I had never made a pie before. And when hearing about this show, this role that I was going to be taking on, it was her idea to fly to New York City. She's in Missouri. She said, I'm going to fly to New York City and I want to teach you how to make a pie. And so she brought along a recipe card, a true recipe card of my great-grandmother's cherry pie recipe, and she, in my studio apartment in New York, taught me how to make a pie.
Wow.
With her, she said, she had all these tricks and she rolled it out perfect thin, exactly how she had an image and a vision for what it needed to be. And we did the lattice, perfect classic woven top. It was just, everything was perfect. And I remember that so much when I'm on stage, and it was a beautiful moment, and I'm grateful to her for thinking of that and for saying, and it was, for her, it was just fun. She's like, what a fun idea. And I had no idea that it would really be in my kind of muscle memory and in my vision as I'm painting this picture of Jenna on stage every night.
Right.
So.
Well, it's a special relationship with the mother that she draws on and remembers, and it inspires so much of what she does today. And so that's nice that you're able to draw on that personal memory.
Yeah,
now, I know you're from a small town, Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas, born and raised. Yeah.
And so you've got that experience too.
Yes.
So the small town. Are you from a small town, New Jersey, right?
I am, but it comes in handy because my character's from Connecticut. I'm the only one not from the area, so
it's good. Yeah, that East Coast vibe.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So you draw on a little bit of that. Is there anything else personally that you draw on to do the great job that you do with this role?
No, my father's a doctor, which is I used a lot of his sort of approach to things, but not to
not exactly.
No, he's a pediatrician,
okay.
so he was able to give me a lot of basics as far as that goes. But that's really where that connection ended.
Well, that's good. Now your character's a little bit of like the funny, awkward guy that you fall in love with, which is again, very relatable. Are you that funny, awkward person in person?
Yeah, well, one of the easiest lines for me to say in the entire show is, I'm not good at happy, I'm too neurotic, which is pretty much me in a nutshell. I'm just a very neurotic person, which is good. But yeah, I definitely relate to his level of anxiety, this sort of perpetual balancing of things. Even if you're inventing the things that you're balancing, you're still trying to keep things in balance. And I think he's constantly slightly off kilter. So I can relate to that.
And I know my character gives him kind of a face. And I know Desi also gives Brian that kind of a
the real you.
and because his sort of neurotic balance is so precarious, when this shows up in his life, he's just completely knocked back on his heels. He doesn't know what to do, because like this is something he's, you know, I don't think he's somebody who makes a habit out of falling for patients. I think this is the first and only time this has ever happened, and it's completely thrown him for a loop.
Totally.
So I think that you know, with somebody who's already so precariously balanced, when this shows up, it makes for some good comedy.
Absolutely. Now you have some personal pursuits outside of Broadway. Tell me a little bit about those.
Yeah, we actually both we would qualify ourselves as singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
Different. I'm a piano-based, a lot like Sarah Bareilles. She actually has been a huge part of the whole reason why I ever got started. I'm a classically trained pianist. I've been playing since I was 8 years old, and I studied really intensely for about 14 years. So all of my songs stem from piano, but yeah, sort of I kind of like to compare my sound to maybe more of like a Sarah McLachlan, like nowadays. So kind of like a throwback, like that easy listening, you know, nothing complicated, but yeah, like, you know, but then writing about life experience. So I'm planning to put out a second album after the first of the year.
Very excited. You're busy. You're busy.
Yeah.
All right. And how about you? I know on your Facebook page you have your piano. So your piano
based, and I mean guitar just because it's more portable. But piano is where I started, and again, like Sarah Bareilles was a huge influence. I don't know if you can be a songwriter who writes on a piano in this age and not be somewhat influenced by Sarah Bareilles.
True.
And she's been a huge influence on everything I've written. Yeah, it's all singer-songwriter kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know who. I guess I'd compare it to like John Mayer-ish, The Fray. Sort of that style, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask somebody. Yeah, it's hard for me to define my own sound. I just write what comes out.
Well, that's a true inspiration to be able to have, you know, Sarah Bareilles coming from both, and then to be able to work so closely with her in her works form. So this is I can only imagine.
A dream come true, really.
Yeah, and nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
you know?
because you want to do it justice.
I you know, there were a few times when in rehearsal she'd be doing something else, because, you know, we'd be doing multiple things. So then Sarah would step in to sing her parts with me, and I'm sitting there just going, I don't know how to handle this moment. I don't know how to sing with Sarah Bareilles. I'm not able to do this.
You didn't feel that way about me.
Now I do, obviously.
So it was that hands-on where she was really.
She was very involved in the rehearsal process, more than we thought. Yeah.
Oh, she was like a mentor to me. Like she would say, I mean, whether it was because she played the role. Not only did she write this story, but she played this role. So she would give me little tips about the apron. She's like, okay, you need to. Here's what I did. She would say, you got to wind it around your hand so that it's ready for the next scene. You know, like these little tips. Yeah. And I mean, she really took us all under her wing. But especially, I feel that she was so kind and generous and patient with us in this process. I mean, it was unbelievable, really.
Well, it definitely shows in the result. You laugh, you cry, you fall in love with the characters, and just even hearing the buzz after we were leaving the theater, people were just in awe of it. And I think that people definitely need to, if you haven't, or if you have read the book, or if you've seen the film, this is just another layer to it. I know for me, this was my first experience with the storyline, so it was a great introduction to everything that comes with this, and also all the female power that goes with it. Sorry. But
I'm very happy to be paying rent in this women's world.
Good. Hey, I love it. I love it. Well, it is coming to Cincinnati at the Aronoff January 9th through 21st, and it is a must-see. You can go to Broadway and Cincinnati's website to learn more and buy tickets before they all sell out.